Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to World of Warships. And in today's episode, we shall be, in the words of the mighty Greek god Zeus, unleash the Kraken! 3 times in this particular episode. I have since gained a 4th Kraken, maybe even a 5th, since I started, making this episode. It didn't come at the time I wanted it to come. Hang on, that sounds kind of wrong, doesn't it? I did kind of promise it a little bit earlier, but hey, at least it's content, I guess. Our first replay is, of course, from me, and we're in the ever-reliable Tier 4 Russian battleship, the Imperator Nikolai. I love this ship. I cannot sing enough praises for it, and I guess it's maybe because of a Russian bias. I mean, we'll probably get the Russian Tier 5 battleship, no, not Tier 5, the Russian Tier 10 battleship will probably be Sovietsky Soyuz, which only had 15-inch guns in real life, but it's gonna be fucking better than not Imperator. It's gonna be like a billion times better than Yamato. So, there go our first shots of the game at this Ishizuchi. Now the Ishizuchi, a battle cruiser, not a particularly good battle cruiser. It kind of struggles in the fact that its guns are shite. It's got, I think, the worst detectability of any battleship, at Tier 4 anyway. Its guns, they don't do a particularly high amount of damage for a Tier 4, only about 8,100, and he is firing HE, I believe. That's why I've got 2 fires on board. And I think it took me a little while to notice that I did not in fact have just 1 fire, I had 2. Still, we fire a return salvo at him, angling ourselves. It's not going to help though if he's firing HE at us. And there we go. Was that from him? It did seem to come from his direction. May well have been the South Carolina. Now, as we can see, I do have 1 fire on board. We're also going to be having a bit of a replay glitch here. I've just fired 3 turrets at this Tenryu, and for some reason, when the camera zooms out there, the ship fails to render. Anyway, this is our first kill of the game, a Citadel, this Tenryu. As you can see, I've let the fire burn, and I'm kind of expecting it to disappear. However, there's a South Carolina right there, and as you just saw his guns, his shells, high explosive shells, I might mind you here, hit my forward superstructure and set me on fire again. So I thought this fire here was actually the first one, but no, it's one that's been set by the South Carolina, and that's all team damage being done to me. And I didn't repair it because I thought it was gonna disappear, and yeah, we've got like a few seconds left. I instead use the damage repair and not the damage control. Anyway, we did fire another additional salvo off at that South Carolina. We're firing another salvo here at the Ishizuchi again for pitiful damage, but for some reason those original 9 shells, they did 830, a single overpen. Those 3 shells there from the rear turret, they do something like 2.6 thousand damage. What the fuck? Now, over there, there's a Karlsruhe. Or Karlsruhe, or whatever. Those things have quite a reputation for being shite. As Jammin411 says, he just wants to give everyone who drives a Tenryu, not a Karlsruhe, a hug. And this is why. Bang! There we go, 3 citadels, an incapacitation, 2 hits. Devastating strike. That guy went from full health to nothing in 1 salvo. Now, blame that on either Russian bias or the fact that the Karlsruhe is just fucking awful. But, whatever. Either way, that Karlsruhe was dead. He just didn't know it yet. So that is kill number 2, I think. Yes, kill number 2. Now, I still have not quite learned how to use my turrets efficiently. I mean, I've got 4 turrets with 3 guns each, but, well, when faced with this Dershki, who is on pretty low health, he's an easy one-shot. I fire all my turrets. Yeah, I do manage to kill him, but now I've got to wait 36 seconds to fire another salvo again. And I'm going to once again fire every single turret at our next target, the Wakataki. Well, you can't blame me for targeting the destroyers. I mean, yeah, there's an Ishizuchi over there, but the destroyers, they're fucking deadly. What else am I gonna shoot at, huh? I mean, there's a St. Louis over there. He does appear to have a cruiser to deal with. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, this Wakataki. There we go. Shots out. And just annihilate him. And get the Confederate Award. I've received a fair many of those now. Now, there's a failed platoon on the enemy team. Or I say failed platoon, more like a failed division. And that's a Tier 2 Samson class destroyer. He has 8 torpedo tubes, 4 on each side. And here I am still loading the armor piercing, and I neglected to pre-select the high explosive, which would have bloody helped me. Instead, we're gonna do a decent amount, 3.4 thousand damage to the Samson, but he's still going to be alive, and he has succeeded in taking out our St. Louis. And as you can see, I failed to pre-select HE, which means killing him will probably be rather difficult. I'm taking the evasive maneuvers. I'm expecting torpedoes on the water, because the Samson, its torpedo tubes load in 20 seconds, if I remember correctly. I haven't driven a Samson ever, but the things are bloody... Oh, so many torpedoes in the water. And I misjudged the speed so badly. And these torpedoes, those were perfect. So strange how those were so perfect. I misjudged his speed, my shells fell short. Oh, this is going to be a close one. And unfortunately, I am also under fire from the Ishizuchi as well. And my guns just can't turn fast enough. More torpedoes are in the water. I'm going to eat some here. I've got to rely on my secondaries. I'm now flooding. I've got a minute. Oh, and there's the Kraken. There goes the Samson. He got just a bit too close. My secondaries did manage to take him out. But I've still got a minute left. And I'm just... a minute left until I can control the flooding, and it's just not enough. Oh! There we go. 11,000 plus damage to the Ishizuchi, but... I'm just flooding too fast. I just... This is so annoying. You get 5 kills and then you die. And what's even more annoying, despite the fact that I have a double click button on my mouse, I'm literally about to die, and I only got 1 more turret off, rather than all 3 that were facing forward. But still, it does a fair amount of damage to that guy, and I get the high caliber. So yeah, you can imagine I was more than a little pissed. Especially since I was angling, but you know, that Ishizuchi was firing HE. And also the Samson was there, which, whilst the torpedoes don't do a lot of damage, it fires them every 20 seconds. It would have run out of them after 2 salvos. Seriously, the Samson would not have had any torpedoes left. It should have been engaging me with guns, because, you know, torpedoes don't last forever. Hopefully one day Wargaming will implement the fact that destroyers didn't have an infinite amount of torpedoes. Seriously, only enough for like 1 or 2 reloads. At the most. Oh, or at the least, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, this game is completely in our favour. We've got 4 ships left. Versus that single Ishizuchi who is now on easy 1-shot health. And this Wyoming here is going to fire his guns and just somehow completely misjudge his shots. Unless, well, the Wyoming does have awful gun dispersion. You see, there goes his shots, but he's not going to get the kill. Our other Wyoming is. Yeah. Oh well, that was a very, very nice game in the Imperator Nikolai. Came top on base experience, 1,200 or so, and a decent, I believe, 84,000 damage. So yeah, a bad game at all. With as well, and the Christmas camo gave me a fairly nice amount of experience. Now that game was my first ever Kraken Unleashed, and this one is my second ever, and it's once again in the faithful USS New Mexico. Now, yeah, this is the free cam. It comes with the game, but it's a little buggy. Rather oversensitive actually. It's hard to control. And of course everything was, for some reason, still loading in. Now unfortunately this replay did record rather... yeah. It didn't go very well when I originally recorded it. So with a little bit of help, this is the recording, the same replay as recorded by Jammin41. He has given me permission to use his original video. Now he did record his own commentary over this, so I have instead superimposed the audio from my replay file, which was still perfectly good, but I'm using his video file for this. And while I'm at it, I guess I should plug his YouTube channel. He is criminally underwatched. Oops, dropping stuff. Criminally underwatched. He runs the World of Warships replay site, a lot like World of Tanks replays, but it's still kind of in a beta stage. But still, I totally recommend that site. It does give you an archive for your own World of Warships replays. Seriously, go check us out. wowreplays.com. That's WOW replays.com. So, the New Mexico Tier 6 US battleship. Compared to the Fuso, it has ups and downs. The ups being that it has very good anti-aircraft firepower. Downs, its dispersion is rather poor compared to the Fuso. Oh god. First salvo is completely wasted. I was aiming at an Alba behind the island, but of course for some reason the game doesn't calculate that your shots will fall low, and so for some reason they decide to hit the island. Also, additional replay bug here, it shows that I'm firing high explosive. That isn't true. Every single shot I fired in this game was armor piercing. So yeah, that's an annoying bug. Next salvo is at the Kuma, and you know, you'd expect that to do a huge amount of damage, like hit the Citadel and go bang, goodbye Kuma. But no, the fact that this thing has rather poor dispersion meant that only one of those shots hit, and it only did an overpen amount of damage, 1050. Enemy Congo, a stock Congo, is firing. Let's see. Oh yes, high explosive. I've been set on fire by the Congo. It may be a stock one. I don't know if okay, it is a stock Congo, but I've no idea if having the stock hull means that the armor-piercing shells are shite. I don't know. Anyway, I burned the damage control, and another high explosive shell comes in there, does 1800 damage. More HE shells coming in from the Alba, and I'm running out of things to say because the thing is, the New Mexico is really slow and the games are therefore slow paced. A standard type battleship is what the Americans called this thing. The Pennsylvania class, the Colorado class, the Tennessee class, they were all based off pretty much the same design. They were supposed to go at the same speed, 21 knots, or I guess 21.5 knots. So damn slow. It's kind of the thing, if the Americans had kind of been prepared for Pearl Harbor, they would have been throwing away battleships if they decided to go chasing down the Japanese attack fleet. Anyway, I've taken another HE shell, I'm on fire again, and the Alba, who I was aiming at, disappeared, but, you know, I fired off the shots anyway. You never know what's gonna happen. And you never know what's gonna happen. Incredibly, my shots do hit home, and I get a Citadel and the kill. The Alba has gone down. Still burning nicely. 34-second reload on these guns, though. Who's next? Oh look, another Karlsruhe. Ah dear. Yep, that's who I'm aiming at here. Unfortunately, the problem with this replay was that you couldn't zoom in. Well, it was bugged on the zoom in anyway. One shell hits the Karlsruhe, and it's a Citadel. It takes off half his health in one hit. Just one shell. It's perfect. Unfortunately, the next salvo, which I once again fire at the Karlsruhe, they're all going to be overpens. Now, if all 12 shells hit this guy, that's 12,001. In fact, no, it's over 12,000 damage, basically. If they are overpen. If all 12 hit. Unfortunately, only 6 hit, so that's about 6,000 damage. Still, that is a pretty hefty amount of damage to do to a Karlsruhe, and yeah, they're all overpens, but it's a respectable amount. Well, it's respectable for a cruiser. For a battleship, it's kind of anemic. It just doesn't have the oomph that you expect from 12, 14-inch guns. This next salvo goes to waste. Look, it looks perfect, right? However, they all fall short. Probably because the Karlsruhe turned just before those shells were due to land. I despair sometimes. Anyway, as you can see, I kicked it down into about half speed. I'm now starting to speed up again, because, you know, if I stayed at half speed for the rest of the game, the game would end before I even got anywhere near the enemy base. You know. Our Nürnberg has other ideas though. He's gonna get in my way. Well, I can't blame him. We were both sort of tunnel visioned at this point. Now, next target. There are two battleships over there, Fuso and a Congo. Technically, a battle cruiser. I take a punt at the Congo, and as it happens, he turns, giving me a perfect shot. 3 citadels, 27,000 damage. In fact, I think it was almost 28,000. What a massive hit. That guy just did not see it coming. That's why people play battleships. Despite all the shit that battleships give us, sometimes they give us gifts like that. What a shot. Next salvo, unfortunately, it's not going to be quite as harmful, but it's still 4,500. Knocks out a gun. Or, well, at least a gun turret. It was pretty temporary, though. How do I know that? Because I come back to him later. We'll be seeing more of him. Yeah, for a good amount of time, I'm just going to be chasing this Fuso. And he's going to be stern chasing our Fuso. As in, he's going to be shooting at... Well, I think he's going to be shooting at both of us. It's been a while since I last watched this. Now, that Fuso isn't really at the best angle. He's pretty much... Well, at the moment, he's still going to the west. But at some point, he's going to take a hard turn to port, and he'll be heading south. And that will present a not very good angle to hit. I've only got 6 guns, which means the dispersion is going to be utterly dreadful. 6 guns firing at forward anyway. And yeah, he is turning. And these shots, they hit a superstructure, and I don't think that caused any damage whatsoever. Yay! Awesome. Anyway, I swing the ship around, my rear turrets are finally turned, and I'll take a punt. More 14-inch guns on the way, shells even, and they hit. No damage. Oh look, the enemy Zuiho has been detected, but he's not who I'm about to shoot at. Those shots go out, it's that Karlsruhe again. Oh dear, the Karlsruhe is a terrible ship. But hey, look, World of Warships RNG coming into effect once again. I citadeled him, even though all it really needed to do was overpen. Really? You're gonna do that? Anyway, the base is under threat. It's in Nürnberg. I'm probably a little bit late to the show. That Nürnberg is out of range, so I launch my spotter plane. And I'm going to, of course, take a punt at the Nürnberg, who is wildly maneuvering because there are 2 ships, at least, defending the cap. So unfortunately, I only hit a few of those, but it's still 3,400 damage. And considering the amount of health he's on, it makes him easier to kill. But I've shot down a plane. Yes, we have torpedo bombers on the route. On the way. And I'm only on the B hull of the New Mexico here. That's just 8 guns that can really do a lot of damage. Yeah. But fortunately, that's only a 2-plane squadron now. And now it's just a 1-plane squadron. Which means at most, I'm going to be taking 1 torpedo. Except, he just dropped his torpedo on the island. So no torpedoes will be coming my way for the rest of this match. Oh, I hate carriers sometimes. They always come for me. Now the AA guns are opening up on the fighters. But of course, this wild maneuvering I've had to undergo means that all my guns are off station. That's the word, off station, out of position. Only really my rear guns can fire. And there's an enemy Phoenix. Now that Phoenix is on a good amount of health. and, well, I've got 6 guns. If they hit a citadel, that's 10,000 damage. 10,500 damage per shell. So, of course, the dispersion goes wonky and, they miss. And I shoot down another plane. Oh dear. Yes, not a particularly good game. But now, there's a much more inviting target. Look over there. To the right. There's a Fuso. And I love me some battleship booty, especially because this one has run aground. So, of course, once again, the guns decide they're going to be a little bit dumb. One shell hits, and it hits the strongest armor on that ship, the front of the turret. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, this is why this ship has 12 guns, so it acts like a shotgun. Oh dear. Rear turrets are coming around again. Fire again, because, well, the Fuso has disappeared, but he was reversing, and I knew roughly where it was going to be. So, of course, the guns all take their maximum dispersion values and do just 1,000 damage. Yeah, every little helps, they say, but in this case, it's just anemic. That's good damage for a destroyer. It's pitiful for a battleship, and once again, 1,000 damage. I'm hitting him 1 out of every 6 shells. It's just not good at all. So more shells incoming, and once again, they're going to do piss at nothing. But pay attention to our Nevny there. He's only on 249 health. A single hit from that Fuso's secondary batteries could kill him. Look at these torpedoes. This Fuso did not see this coming. So over 50,000 health to nothing. 1,000 health left. He immediately hits his damage repair, but it's just too late. Now, guns. Where was that shot earlier? Just seriously, he was on like 3,000 health, and of course my guns decided, oh, and now it's time to citadel him. Like, what is going on? Well, the enemy is pretty much doomed. Look how many ships we have compared to theirs. They do have a Nicholas and a Zuiho, but that Nicholas is driven, well, captained by a scaredy cat. And the Zuiho is also driven by a captained by a scaredy cat. Otherwise he wouldn't be driving a carrier. At Fuso, though, he's going to come right to us and bring the fight to us. He is going to put up a fight. And this is where my guns finally start to work. Well, not this salvo. Though this wasn't the fault of the salvo, it was really the fault of the Fuso, who was turning in. So all my guns, all my shells, overshoot. I'm also going to decide to once again get the rear guns turned around. So, yeah, they're going to be out of action for about a minute. Especially, yep, I've now started turning them. It's going to be about a minute, at least a minute, I'd say, in fact, till those guns are useful. There goes the first shot, the first salvo at this Fuso, and they're going to hit home. Citadels, one citadel, 15,015 damage. Massive hit. Just massive. I've got myself angled, but our Fuso was showing a bit more of a broadside, and so he got punished royally for that. He is now like one shot for like a destroyer. But my turrets are reloaded again. I'm happy that this guy is not focusing on me, so of course, more citadels. Only one more. 13,000 damage again. Our Fuso goes down, but this Fuso made a tactical error, because I had more health, I think. Rear turrets have finally turned. Engage the rear turrets. Goodbye! Another citadel, high caliber, and the Kraken. What a game. 5 kills. And a not too shabby amount of 125,000 damage. You can't see this, of course. The damage counter isn't there on this screen, and the rest of this game is just me heading in towards the cap and getting a little bit of capping XP. So, a very good game indeed. Very, very good. Could have been better, but I'm not complaining. That's a solid 125,000 damage. I'm happy with that. As well as a little bit short of 8,000 experience. This game helped me get the Sea Hull. But it wasn't the game that got me the Sea Hull. Annoying, right? So that brings this video to a close. I know I said at the beginning that it was 3 replays. Unfortunately, I decided that the third one just wasn't entertaining enough. It was really just boring. So yeah, on that bombshell, it's time to end the show. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Good night.